Okay, we've got Caesar once again being played, but this time by Skyro up against Saykoya, who's playing Ryota. So explain to me the Ryota pick, because I
All
love
right,
Ryota. So
so basically, because there's like some bugged commanders, the three like bans that we were doing in the first two games were Valder, Caesar, Vesper, and here's Skyro. Like, wait, no, we weren't banning Caesar, so it was Valder, Vesper, Wolfar, and here's Skyro bans Caesar instead of Wolfar. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I should pick Wolfar. And then on the commander select screen, I realize I haven't touched Wolfar in like months. And I'm like, I'm probably not that good at Wolfar at the moment. Like, there's some general ideas, but like, if I haven't played a commander in a long time, there's probably a bunch of stuff I'm not going to be looking for. And so I'm like, okay, who's the other early game commander? And I think Ryota is very good if you're trying to snowball a lead against a later game commander such as Caesar.
yeah, it makes sense. So we're gonna see some early game action coming out from Ryota, and already we're on turn 4 or 5 with you charging that groove. So that is a very scary looking Ryota, I have to say. Full health, groove charged. I'm curious to see what this is going to do. Alright, just goes for the fortified. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you can go for that early pressure. So
That's 200 right there.
that is, and that's a lot of groove charge as well. That's actually kind of ridiculous how fast that charges.
Well, let's say like Skyro got both corner villages because I was like doing some harassing with the swords in the opening. But it was a choice for the openings, and like it for example it delays the lumber mill, the first cut, and since the lumber mill starts with 2 trees, it's pretty important to get that early.
And we see some more early harass coming out here, hitting the village to build a bit more groove. Get that a bit lower as well to be taken next turn. And Ryota, I mean, going 1-1 with a knight, like normally, like you do that with the knight so the commander gets a bit weaker. And I think this is gonna be a crit. Yeah, this one's gonna be a crit. But gold value wise, it's actually relatively even. Commanders are extremely gold efficient at fighting. You do the early harass to keep your opponent's commander from getting too strong, but this is also building groove on Ryota, so we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Alright, these two swords backing up. Caesar almost forced to go to that left hand side. Okay, we're gonna see more kills coming in here. Ooh, big sword crit comes into big mage heal as well. Okay, Ryota's gonna hit from the forest. This is pretty risky, I have to say, but I think Ryota should be okay. I don't think there's quite enough here to get a kill on Ryota, especially with the dog getting that follow-up hit.
Yeah, and also like Ryota is that one commander who, if you're ever like overextended, as long as you don't die, you can just zoom out of here.
Okay. Oh, the mage lives. And I mean, obviously it's still painful to have a mage on that low health when your opponent is a harpy, but oh, Ryota's so close to having tier 2.
Yeah, should be able to get it this turn.
Yep, that is going to be the case. Alright, mage walks back and heals. Alright, Ryota has tier 2 groove. Couple more kills come in. Extra. That's just to hit 1%. Oof. Alright, dog gonna come and get that finishing blow. Probably should have used the weak dog first, just to get the crit instead, but not the end of the world. Ooh, big damage. The harpy takes so much from Ryota groove.
Yeah.
I think it's like dragons are ridiculously tanky against commanders, but Yeah, harpies are pretty frail. Okay, but that said, Skyro gonna get like a decent amount of counter attack damage this turn. Still gonna harass on that left hand side, be annoying. That's like a little bit of an econ advantage still. And, you know, is there anything that Ryota can do to kind of flip this situation around? Alright, gets another kill. I mean, cool thing about Ryota, this could potentially be like another groove like pretty quickly. That's
Yep.
like, there aren't really the units to deal with all these harpies right now, so. Okay, finally this corner village gets flipped back. And rifle comes out. Alright, I guess it's like the anti-Caesar unit right there. Caesar loves his units that can...
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much the idea. It's like Caesar will like to have a bunch of spears, and spears don't like rifles, so might as well get one.
Yeah, and up until this point, like, the knights have been dropping pretty thoroughly. So
Yeah, we've been like early fighting, and a bunch of knights died, which is good for a rifle back here.
yeah.
Like usually you'd say, "Oh, that's good for Caesar," but I guess I'll have to make use of that rifle, and I mean, it also means that it's like Skyro's army is going to be way more predictable in terms of how they attack villages, whereas I have a bunch of knights who can kind of go everywhere. I still have 2 knights.
Oh, that sword, yeah, it's gonna fall. I don't know why the... Oh, I guess like the weaker sword that could kill it makes sense, because yeah, the slightly stronger swords. Okay, that makes sense. You kill with the one that actually works. And, oh, big rifle crit actually. This is another nice feature of the rifle. Is that your
I think
opponent
that
can
was
just...
max range actually.
Yeah. But you know, just being able to do like a little bit of extra chip damage is like really strong.
Oh, I remember here on the left, the knight is actually 1% too high for the harpy to finish it off. And I didn't know that.
Okay. We're gonna get to see that in a moment. Or maybe.
Yeah, that was an air trooper kill by the
Okay.
rifle.
Oh yeah, killing stuff off screen at this point. It's got that like, big range. And yeah, Caesar, I mean, even tier 1's still scary, so yeah, like you have to be careful. Ryota just sitting behind a big army of now double golem.
Yep. I was basically waiting for the 2 golems to reach, and then I can start fighting into Caesar tier 1 again.
Yeah, and this is a really beefy army. It's gonna be very difficult for Skyro to push into against this, but both of you are playing the clock well. Like 39 minutes for Skyro, 37 for you right now. Ooh, Ryota's gonna go in. Okay. Feeling confident, but that's a lot of groove. Getting a kill with the commander.
Don't worry, Rio will. It's surrounded by golems, pretty much.
Yeah, Spear Golem's pretty strong. Doesn't capture the village. I guess that makes sense. You don't want to give like your opponent opportunity to get more groove. And just pulling back up on the left here just doesn't want to give your opponent opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, here I was thinking, like, where do I want to place my golem before I'm thinking about whether I want to cap that village. And can't cap if there's a golem there, I suppose. Yeah, now Skyro can't really attack into the golems, so now is pushing on the other side. But yeah, at this point, I think I have built up somewhat of a lead. I'm not sure exactly. I think I was up in unit count at this point. Here I hit a spear with the rifle.
Yeah, just getting lots of... There's so much value off of this rifle. Like Killed an
Yeah.
air trooper, hit Caesar, like almost killed a spear. That's a big chunk of damage there. And yeah, if you're Caesar, you're just hating that rifle because it's so frustrating to maneuver spears around an enemy rifle. But, oh, Skyro is finding some good damage over here. Starting to get into an actual fight. And he's getting close to tier 2. 181. Like a really good turn of fighting will allow a follow-up tier 2. And Golem comes out as well, so has units to deal with the opponent's Golem. Okay. And yeah, third Golem coming out here. Oh, tier 2. Where's this gonna go? To the left. Oh, picks a unit off, deals damage to one of the Harpies. Opens up more kill opportunities, so there'll be more and more damage coming in this turn. But actually might just leave it there. And yeah, that's not too bad. Ryota's gonna be pretty close to getting tier 1 as well, up at 40% already.
Now the rifle on the right actually covers units on the left.
Oh,
So that's
spooky position. Although it's quite a vulnerable position. I mean, it's sitting on a road tile with only like one unit in front on each side, but those units actually have to be in position to do the punishing. And this is the disadvantage of spears, is that actually I would have felt like one of those archer hits should have come in first, but it could be hard to do. Oh well, you know what? Big Caesar tier 2 is gonna help a lot here, and this is going to be a ton of damage coming in this turn, especially Archer's going to do so much, and yeah, this is going to be pretty devastating. I think this Golem's probably going to go down. Yep, has to use one of the stronger spears for that, but yeah, overall I think this was a really good turn. Deals a lot of damage, but that I guess felt a bit forced as well, so you know, taking down a Golem, there are 2 more Golems on the map. So we're going to see a lot of damage coming in now. And a lot of this is going to be very optimized damage too. Ooh, big Mage Heal comes in. Going to be there to take down that Harpy. I don't know if that was needed, but
Never see me coming.
yeah, actually it wasn't needed, but I thought it was.
okay. Well, having a slightly healthier mage isn't the worst thing. Okay, big Witch Hex. Probably should have hexed earlier, but whatever, it's fine. Alright, and just more damage coming in, and yeah, Ryota showing off that, you know, he doesn't actually need a tier 2. A tier 1 is also very valuable. And lots and lots of units coming in here to protect Ryota, so I think Ryota's actually going to be fine. That was a really good fight there. And Skyro's going to throw in the towel, and I can't blame him. That was 3 grooves there from Ryota, and they were all really good. So yeah, really nice showing. Okay, any final thoughts you have?
Yeah, so basically, like the turn before Skyro grooved, I sent my Golem a bit forward compared to the rest of my units, because I knew like he didn't have the proper army to really kill a Golem safely. So my thought was either like he doesn't use groove to kill the Golem, and then like my army can punish everything that goes in to kill the Golem, or he does use groove to kill the Golem and then gets more hits. But because my army is like further back and behind the village and stuff, it will take way less damage compared to like an ideal situation Caesar groove, I guess.
Yeah, like forcing him to just focus everything on that one unit. And actually, because of the amount of counter-attack damage the Golem does as well, like all the units that were hitting it that then got grooved to the spears, they weren't really able to do much after that point. Like, because yeah, they're just eating a ton of counter-attack damage, so
Yeah, and like Skyward probably would have played this. I mean, I would have had to find some different answers to Caesar tier 2 if Skyro had like one dragon. But like we were fighting a lot, which meant that since we're healing units constantly and we need to like specific buys, getting a dragon is way harder. So that happened. I also was probably ahead, which helps to deal with Caesar Groove when you have like 3 golems. But yeah, very nice game. I think Skyro was saying like near the end that the stamina was starting to run out, which fair enough. It was a pretty brawly game.
Yeah. And actually, I just want to note something interesting. The hideout never got captured by Skyro. So they didn't even like consider like going for their own rifle or anything like that. Which I guess like you're getting a little bit of a tempo boost from having like the unit that would capture this be up at the front line, but that rifle got so much value.
Yep. And Skyro also like agrees Caesar is way worse on this map compared to Florent Fardens, which was last game.
Yeah.
This map also like builds groove uh, pretty slowly, so that doesn't really help Caesar because tier 2 is still 350 groove points.
Yeah, that's a lot. And like, Ryota getting, even tier 1 very quickly, which by itself isn't going to do that much damage, but the threat of tier 1 is really scary. So, just because, you can do a lot of chip damage, you maneuver Ryota out of like danger, it can set up things like sword crits really nicely.
You
and
can
spam it too.
groove across the map.
You can groove across the map. You can do damage while grooving across the map, like we saw earlier. So, yeah, but just like Ryota is a very flexible commander, and if you're good at playing aggression, then that's gonna be a big game changer. So, and yeah, Caesar just takes ages. There was 2 tier 2 Ryota grooves before Caesar did their own tier 2, and the punish on that tier 2 was a tier 1 Ryota groove as well. So, that was just a lot of damage. Oh well, anyway, thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go on to the next game.